This video has been coming for a while. This video is from the heart and needs to be said. Let's do this. Wherever you are in the world, whether it be good morning, good afternoon, good evening, it's been a hard day for me yesterday. I had lots of emotion after the Fulham defeat, lots of emotion with how I stand with this ownership and what I see personally happening with the football club. And I was going to do this video yesterday, but if I had, it would be toxic, shouting, screaming, agenda driven, name calling. Brian, it's not that type of video. Close to tears a few times yesterday. Laugh if you want to, whatever, with what's happening at my football club. And I'm just going to address what I see happening in various stages and departments of this club and take it or leave it. This is just what I see happening right now. Obviously, about to turn 45 years old. First thing I had on as a baby was a Tottenham Hotspur baby grow. Been actively watching Spurs since 1987, where I first remember Hoddle's last season, but actively going regularly until I moved to Israel and Canada since the Paul Gascoigne days. And I'm just going to break this down in a few sections, and I am going to start with this fan base. And like I said, this is not me shouting and screaming. This is no shots fired. This is no name calling. This is no he said, she said, you're right, you're wrong. This is just how I see things. And there's no better place to start than people that are leaving out. And most importantly, when I say people that leave you out, the people I interact with on Twitter, on YouTube, across all social media, people I speak to, people in Toronto, people all over the world. But most importantly, my leave out family, the ones that have protested long and hard, that have put their faces across social media, the ones that have turned up to protest, whether it be outside a club shop and there's 50 or numbers being made up or 200, whether it be at the training ground from 6 a.m. that I did with two people to start with every single day. Like I said, this is no name mentioning whatsoever. People know who they are. The amount of grief, abuse, both verbally, physically, mentally, everything that goes on because we stand up and fight for something that we believe in is I don't get the hatred. I don't get it. You see other teams like Liverpool when they protest against away day tickets or whatever, the home day match tickets, as a team they unite because they want what's best for this football club. You see it all over. These people that get abused by people that don't feel the same as Levy out are like family to me. And during the time I have known them, I have had some really low lows, whether it be family health or it be my personal mental health or when I've almost fallen off the wagon, which I never have done. These people have been there to save me no matter what, no matter where they are in the world, whether it be phone calls, coming around to see me, chats, you name it. They get abused, get called all names under the sun. But the people away from how we feel are some of the nicest people that you could ever wish to meet. I love them all dearly. And we fight because we want what's better for this football club. We fight because of the way this ownership has treated the fans. It's not just all about what's on the pitch, it's about what's off the pitch. And the Twitter wars and the social media wars and the trolling in comments and the lies that are said when we're at protests are just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. We're meant to be a fan base. We're meant to be all together. And listen, that doesn't get away from coming to the people that aren't leaving out. The abuse you get is totally uncalled for as well. A lot of it. Listen, it works both ways. But there's certain trolls, there's certain people that like to think they know it all, call people out, stir shit up, make lies. And it's all because we want what's best for this football club. And to me, this football club is bleeding. It's had an artery cut and it is bleeding out. And rather than trying to save it and fix it, we're fighting amongst each other. I then bring on to the trust. Listen, I have gone for the trust on many a times, not because of the great work they do behind the scenes when it comes to what they do for the people that need disability access or tickets or when people are ill. They do some fantastic work. But there's a tweet by Martin Cloak who tried to call out podcasters for saying, don't say we don't try and do anything. You held a banner out at the end of the game. You held a banner, and I apologise. I said I wasn't going to name names, and I've gone and done it, so I apologise. Martin, it's not aimed at you. We can't even hold a banner up. We can't even hold a banner up because the fans can't get on. We've tried to protest. We've tried. You do great work away from what is happening at this football club. Strongly worded emails aren't working. Reaching out to the Premier League isn't working. Going on Sky Sports News or other YouTube podcasts or whatever and speaking, it's not working. Saying you're going to protest and turning up for one, missing one, and rather than carrying it on, just stopping, is not working. Our one didn't work, but at least we were there consistently, and didn't matter if it was 10 of us or 200 of us. Didn't matter if it was in the stadium, out the stadium. The amount of people singing Levy out inside the stadium, but wouldn't come and stand with us because they're too busy having a drink or didn't want to be with such a small minority and reach the numbers. It's all unnecessary. This whole war and fighting amongst each other is all because we love Tottenham Hotspur. But I go back to it. We are bleeding. We are bleeding. Which brings me on to the comments made by Ange Postecoglou, which Alistair Gold read or did in his video. And I've got it here, so I'm just going to read it out. It is understood that Ange Postecoglou is trying to get out of the mentality of just aiming for the top four with everyone around the club. He's trying to build something for next season to challenge the top four. So, how many times have we heard it? How many managers have said that, but reworded it, or said it in a kind way, or in a forceful way, or like Conte, gone out and done it against Southampton? It's a year. I think if it's the 18th, yeah, it's a year to the day Conte did what he did. How many managers are we going to have to hear at this time of the season? We are trying to change the mentality. I believe there's been 16 managers. We're still trying to change the mentality. What does that say? What does that say to you if you keep hearing from manager after manager after manager that things are good? We're trying to change the culture. We're trying to change the philosophy. We're trying to change. And these managers aren't given time to change it. And the next one comes in off the conveyor belt and reads it. I am 100 billion% behind Ange, like I have been every single manager. Did not understand the Nuno one, but he's my manager. I'll get behind it. How many more times do we have to hear this? How many more times do we have to hear the media saying this? But every single time, I go back to this fan base. What do? Somehow we have a poor result like we did against Fulham, where Ange has to take responsibility, and Ange Postecoglou comes in for grief. Why? Why are we blaming him? He's, what, 8 months into a project? Another project? That famous word we use? Just another project. But rather than blaming him, rather than directing it where it should be above, we go for the manager again. Then we blame the players. But we go from manager to manager, philosophy to philosophy, to style of football to style of football, to being a man manager, to being an aggressive manager, to being a literal. It just goes on and on and on. And every single time we get these new managers in, we've got their players we need to ship out because they don't suit the manager for the new project. But it doesn't matter. We're going for top 4. Nothing changes. Directors of football have come and gone and said the same thing. Yet rather than blaming the man above, what do? We blame the managers. We blame the players. Ange Postecoglou needs time. But we've seen with Pochettino, the only man at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club under this guy's reign is the only man to get a contract extension. No one has seen out their contract. No one has been given another one because it's not working. You're not doing what we need to do. You can't use the players that we've got, and we can't get rid of them because of overpricing. So we're bringing another manager, another philosophy, and around March, April, what will we say? The manager will come out and say, guess what? I'm trying to change this club. I'm trying to change this club. And everyone just goes, oh, he's trying. Let's just reset the clock. Let's rip off the Band-Aid again. We go for the man in the middle, not the man at the top. Which brings me on to this game-changing stadium. This game-changing stadium, really? Really? Let's look at this game-changing stadium. It's going to allow us to compete. It's going to allow us to compete. Compete for what? The top 4 that we're trying to change the mentality for. Isn't it amazing how these new revenue streams keep coming up? Still waiting on naming rights. Still hired the guy that brokered whatever the terminology is, the biggest deals in the NFL for franchises out here. The Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins. He comes to Tottenham. He's left for Chelsea. Naming rights? No. Has it enabled us to bring in the hugely successful players? Has it allowed us to compete? We've just seen Manchester United, Chelsea, and Manchester City get to the FA Cup semi-final. Clubs that treat domestic cups with the respect they deserve. Whether they play their youth team or not, they give it everything. Have we? No. No, we don't. Isn't it amazing in this game-changing stadium? We can have the elite of the elite performing artists, the Beyoncés, the Guns N' Roses, the Lady Gagas. We can have Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. We can have the NFL franchises, premium elite things, with the only stadium that can have something on the roof of the stadium and underneath in the car park to bring money in. Where's that gone? What's that doing us? You look at it, we've got ourselves in a position where this stadium, and don't get me wrong, this stadium is an architectural masterpiece. It's incredible. Only stadium with 2 pitches, longest bars, serve beers quicker, do this, do that. What's it gotten us? What's it gotten us? And then we get to this ownership. This ownership and the lies that people... This man is a walking, talking contradiction. Let's look at this. This man who does an AGM when things are great with Pochettino goes on Sky Sports News after the Manchester United game to do this special thing to hand the keys over to White Hart Lane. Make this whole ceremony of handing the keys over when they're bulldozing it down. Don't see him again for ages. During that time, didn't deliver the stadium on time. Apologised to the NFL before us, the fans. Tried to furlough staff during COVID. Got overturned by the fans. The Super League still hasn't apologised to the fans. Only chairman. Weren't seen, didn't see, didn't hear, didn't respond to the trust during the Nuno time, the Jose time, the Conte time. Sent Paratici out during the Conte time. And Postecoglou comes in. Get off to a superb start, an incredible start, an inspiring start. Let's have an AGM. Let's have an AGM because times are good and I can come out and talk. Spoke. Said that pathetic line. We've got our Tottenham back. And people were clapping it and going, "Hooray, well done." Amazing he came out then. Well, now we've gone out of both cups. He's raised season ticket prices. Trying to abolish the senior citizens, old age pensioners back home. Outpricing younger people so they can't get to the stadium. The Burnley, the poor results have come. The trust are trying to reach out to him about the season ticket price. Where is he? What's he said? Has there even been a press release from him? Has there been any sign of I need to speak to the fans? I need to address this. I need to say where I'm coming from. He even started that season ticket renewal increase with a "we are pleased to announce," like gratitude, like they're pleased that they're making you spend more money. All these events, record profits, all of this. This was meant to help Spurs fans and incorporate and make things better for Spurs fans. Pay back some of the loyalty in some formal way, because you're certainly not doing it with silverware. But no, nothing. Silence. This man, let's call a few things out with him, shall we? This man who, after the Arsenal game last season when we lose 2-0, season falling apart, announces WizKid is coming to perform the day after a North London derby defeat. Then announces a partnership with Ineos, a fuel guzzling, polluting automobile. And then what's he do a few weeks later? We're doing a game where we're going to be carbon neutral. There'll be no carbon footprint on this game. Yeah, okay. So let's contradict. Then after this, and the thing that really got to me, and this is why this video is really coming out. This is why this video is coming out. Obviously, I saw it on Lily White Hotspur to begin with. Then it started getting confirmed everywhere. And it was Tottenham Hotspur Football Club will play Newcastle United in a post-season friendly in Australia the week leading to the FA Cup final. So this season ends, and within 3 days, we're travelling to the other side of the world to play a team from this country. Fans travel to away games. Remember the carbon footprint. Remember this. Let's do things to make this world a better planet. Let's fly half, or not even halfway, let's fly to the other side of the world just to play a team that are based in England. This is, without a doubt, new revenue streams are about to open, or sponsorship or corporate greed again from this football club. Now, I know Tottenham Hotspur, me living here in Toronto, I've lived in Israel. I know how big this club is around the world. And everyone in Australia, the great support, whether it's been from when you were a young kid, whether it was you lived in this country and you emigrated over there, or, and we know there's been a lot of people, and fair play to you, since Ange Postecoglou has become manager of Tottenham Hotspur. Just like when a player comes from any other country, like Heung-min Son came to Tottenham, we have a large Korean fan base because of him. I embrace it. It was always going to happen. If anyone, when Palacios came to Tottenham, Honduras fans were probably Spurs. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. But I understand it's wonderful for you. I understand it's great that you get to see the football team, but not 3 days after a fucking season finishes. This shows me once again, when it comes to this football club and this ownership, that there's no care about player welfare after a grueling season. All right, we haven't played Europe. We went out of cups early. To hell with their families and having a break. To hell, you've had a whole long season. Let's nip over to Australia. We're nipping over to Australia to come back where there is a major, two major international tournaments. The Copa America and the Euros. Now, thank God it's not back in the day where we had loads in the England team. It's probably only James Maddison. This is, we go on about the season going on too long and how other countries fix their season. If there's a Euros or if a team's getting far in the Champions League, they try and remove the fixtures. This is an owner, an English owner, that is flying his team to the other side of the world for one game to appease sponsors, to appease fans on that side of the world. And again, I get that part, but not after 3 days at the end of the season or pre-season. Wonderful. Love it. Go embrace everywhere around the world. How do you think people like James Maddison and England fans will feel? How do you think, you look at that look at our back five. Vicario, Italy, Euros. Udogi, Italy, Euros. Romero, Argentina, Copa America. Van der Ven, Holland, Euros. Porro, Spain, Euros. I could go through the rest of the team. How is this fair? And I even had someone mentioning him when I put this on a tweet saying I smell new business opportunities, and said it's the end of the season. This is standard practice. No, it's not 3 days after the season. That's when the players go on a rest. This football club is a walking, talking contradiction of itself. This owner does not care about the fans ripping you off, does not care about the players and their welfare, because after a Euros they'll go on an extended holiday. He does not care about anyone or anything apart from that bank balance that is not going back into this football club. And I've heard so many people say this season, if we don't do it right, that's it. Well, get ready. Get ready, because this football club is a mess. The owner is a barefaced liar. The fan base is at war. The managers get thrown under the bus. And it will keep happening until we unite, until the war stops with the fan base. and you see it for what it is. How many more lies do you need to see? How many more false dawns do we need to go through? I am heartbroken. You can tell. Listen, there's no shouting, there's no screaming. I have been brought up to love this football club. It is my first love. As my dad has always said to me, relationships come and go, families come and go, friends come and go, jobs, everything in your life comes and go. There is one constant in your football club, and it's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club for me and so many other people. Yet what I see now is not the Tottenham Hotspur I fell in love with. In fact, right now, I'm falling out of love with Tottenham Hotspur. And I hope that one day we get a football club back that we can all be proud of, we can all come together with, we can all pull in the right direction, we can all have that belief that this time we're back and we're here to stay. Listen, I had to get this video out there. Take it or leave it. I don't really care. This is the state of Tottenham Hotspur. Let's hope something changes and changes soon.